Councillor Lola Oyewusi.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank God the sun is out.
Yes, the sun is out and we are maintaining social distancing.
Of course we are.
You're a mother, a community activist, a politician, and a grandmother. Why do you want to be the Kent Police Crime and Commissioner?
A lot of people have asked me that question. That why do you want to be, a police crime commissioner? And my answer to them is why not? Why shouldn't I want to be a police crime commissioner? I have lived in Kent area for over 20 years. And I know exactly how policing was done when we first moved to Kent. Where neighborhood feels safe and secure. Where even if you don't lock your cars, you forget to lock your doors, your front doors, your back door, you're not worried. But things have changed. We used to have our own local police stations. Rural areas has their own local police stations. But with all the, cuts, Tory austerity cuts, have drastically reduced the amount of police officers we have in our streets. All those buildings that we have locally, they've all gone. They've turned into private accommodations. And there is now an increase in crimes in our area. And just like you rightly said, as a mother, a grandmother, who has raised our children in Kent, we're still raising, our grandkids in Kent. I want to ensure that we have a system that is working for every one of us, regardless of our background or who we are, and making sure that the next generation, my children's children, their children, whoever is going to be living here in Kent feels more secured, more safer, and know that they're living in a better region. That is why I want to be, the Kent Police Crime Commissioner.
So which political party are you representing and why?
I'm actually representing Labour Cooperative Party. And the reason I'm representing Labour Cooperative Party is because of my values. The values, I'm a woman of faith, and my faith resonates, with the values of the Labour Cooperative, Party. And that's why I'm standing as their candidate for this election.
We all know that knife crime has been a big issue in the whole of the United Kingdom. And Kent, of course, has not been left out of this. So if you're elected as a police and crime commissioner, how do you expect to tackle this? One
of my key pledges is tackling the issue of county-line crimes, gang crimes, knife crimes, and antisocial behavior. And the plan for that, basically, is to ensure that community is at the heart of policing here in Kent. When community is involved, when we work together as one team, rather than as seeing ourselves as separate entity, crimes will be reduced. We would be able to work together to protect our neighborhood, to protect each other, to use the resources that we have to ensure that knife crime is a thing of the past in Kent. And that is every single community getting involved, making sure we are our neighbors' keepers. And when I talk about being our neighbors' keepers, it means that we need to be each other's eyes, each other's ears, and ensure that together, when we see what is not right, we are also standing together as one to challenge that issue. And that is one of my key things that I will be doing as Kent Police Crime Commissioner.
It's often said that the BAME communities, that's the Black, Asian and ethnic minorities, don't usually turn out to vote. Now, what would you want to say to these communities?
The Black, Asian minority ethnic community, I'm appealing to you to go out there and use your vote, because your vote is your voice. Let it be a thing of the past where people say the Black community, the Asian community, the minority and ethnic community don't vote. Let it be a thing of the past, because if you want the change that you desired, it's your vote that can effect that change. Gone are the days where we sit on the bench and we whinge and moan about things happening to us, to our communities, to our children, even to other communities. But we don't actually get involved. Get involved now. Register to vote. The deadline for registration for voting is this weekend, the 19th of April. use your vote, ask your voice, and get that change that you desire.
We've been hearing on the news and everywhere we turn to that racism has become so rampant these days, especially on social media. Now, how do you ensure that you will help and support the police in combating this?
I and my children, we've been victims of racism. Even because I'm standing as a police, crime commissioner for Kent, I've had racist comment, used against me. It's just like what I said earlier on. Racism has no place in our communities. It has no place in our society. It is not enough for every one of us to say, I'm not a racist person. We all need to be anti-racist. And I say it again, we need to be anti-racist. And one of the things I will be doing, I'm already doing something, even before I put myself forward as a candidate, where my community works closely with Kent Police Crime, with Kent Policing, one of the chief officers, where we've been discussing the issue of equality, diversity, inclusion, and tackling the issue of racism within our communities. Relationship matters, because it's when you don't know people that you show some kind of, prejudice, racism against them. This is why, because I'm a community activist, and one of my passion is bringing people together. When we begin to foster good relationship with our communities, we get to know each other better, then we will know that we are all one race, and that's the human race. And that's what one of the things I will be, doing as a commissioner.
Every community needs resources to help policing. The party you're standing for is currently not in the seat of government. So how do you hope to get the resources to Kent? Because definitely you will need a lot more resources if you want to fulfill what you're saying.
Our party might not be in power, but when it comes to community safety, it should not be about political, it should not be about any political party. Because whether we like it or not, we are all human beings. We all live within our communities. We live in Kent region. The safety of every one of us is all our responsibilities. So, like in my key pledge, I said I will be asking and demanding for more resources from Priti Patel. Priti Patel is who we have at the moment, who is in charge of policing in UK. I will be knocking on our door constantly and asking and demanding for resources for Kent policing. And not only that, I might not get all the resources that I need from this current government, but people in my community are the best assets and the best resources that I need. And once they are on board, the rest will be easy.
And finally, what would you like to say to all communities in Kent?
For every community that is in Kent, I'm appealing to you that you should get involved in this election. It is not a national election, it is a regional election, though it's happening all across, different parts of England and Wales and also in Scotland. But it is not a national election, it's a regional election. And please do get involved. Get involved by making sure that you use your vote and you use your vote wisely. And use your vote and vote for Lola Oyewusi as your next Kent Police Crime Commissioner. Like I said, I'm not here for myself, and it's not about any particular political party. It's about us as individuals. It's about us as families, and it's about us as a community. And together, and I'm saying it again, together as one voice, as one community, we can make our Kent, our region, much better, much safer, and much stronger and secure for every one of us and the next generations to come.
Councillor Lola Oyewusi, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for taking time out for me today. God bless you.